Welcome to the sweet spot section of the Creating You Planner. Now, this, I believe, is probably the most important section of the planner. This allows you, by responding to the questions that are posed, to really zero in and identify your sweet spot. And your sweet spot is that area where it aligns with who you want to become, your your noble passions. It aligns with your natural talents and your strengths, and where there's needs in the economy. It aligns with all those areas, and it allows you to really optimize the kind of contributions that you can provide, the kind of success that you can have. And so I think this is one of the most important tools that you'll see in the Creating You Planner. Now, when you first come to the site, what I encourage you to do is to become familiar with the model here. And so I would encourage you, after you've looked at the app tips, and as you know, you can access this content from a tablet, you can access it and adjust the data from a smartphone. And so I would come into the content, and that's the default view as well. And I would drill in and really become familiar with each one of these shapes here. We focus on four key questions, and we help you to really zero into each one of these. Who do you want to become? There's some content that you'll want to review and think about as it relates to you. What are your noble passions? What are your natural talents and strengths? Where are their needs in the marketplace? And then what I would do is I would click on the videos and get a deeper dive into the sweet spot and the overview, the framework. Why is that important? You can drill into who do I want to become? What are my most noble passions? What are my strengths, talents, and strengths? Where are their needs? And then what you do is you begin to respond to a set of questions that we're going to be asking you. Now, the temptation will be to start at the top here, which is my sweet spot. But what we really want you to do is to zero in to each one of these sections first, so that you have a composite sweet spot. And the reason we have it at the top is so that in the future you can access that. That's what's going to end up being most important to you. But as you're completing this, start with who do I want to become? And so all you do is click on Add My Response, and you can zero in and look at the tips and respond to each one of the questions. And so I've gone in here and actually provided some examples of responses. We won't go through all of that. And then when you're done with these four sets of questions, or categories of questions, then you'll come here to my sweet spot. And when you click on Add My Responses here, what it's going to do is pull from the data that you've provided in each one of the sections, so you have a good head start. And so here what you want to do is just summarize what your sweet spot is. And this becomes important also because it feeds into a diagram that you'll be able to look at on an ongoing basis. So try to be concise here, identify what respond to each one of these questions. And then what you're going to see is you're going to see your sweet spot. And so essentially what this has done is pulled in from your sample, from your sweet spot here, your responses to that, and it's created a diagram so you can see what your response to each one of these questions was. And then most importantly, you can see your intersection. You can see really where you want to focus. So I would encourage you to go ahead and jump in and become familiar with the content, look at the videos, and go ahead and start the exercise.